No one. Indonesia, the land of 1,000 islands. Indonesia is the largest archipelagic country in Southeast Asia, covering an area of approximately 1.9 million square kilometers, stretching across both Asia and Oceania, and straddling the northern and southern hemispheres. It is the only transcontinental country in the world and also has the most islands on the planet. Depending on how they are counted, the number ranges from 13,500 to over 17,500 islands, making it difficult even for international organizations to agree on an exact figure. Thanks to this, Indonesia has the second longest coastline in the world, nearly 55,000 kilometers long, spanning a multitude of rich marine ecosystems. As of 2025, Indonesia's population is estimated to reach about 285.7 million people, making it the fourth most populous country in the world after China, India, and the United States. It is also home to hundreds of indigenous tribes with unique customs, including the Dani tribe, which is known for its gruesome ritual of cutting off women's fingers to mourn deceased relatives. Some groups once practiced human hunting customs, but these have now been completely banned by the government. Although 87% of the population is Muslim, Indonesia is home to the world's largest Buddhist temple, Borobudur, a magnificent monument that attracts millions of visitors each year. In terms of language, Indonesia ranks second in the world in linguistic diversity, with over 700 languages currently in use. This makes communication between people in different regions of the country challenging, but about 40% of the population can speak basic English, which is enough to help tourists feel comfortable exploring the country. Another interesting fact is that the national flag of Indonesia is nearly identical to the flag of Monaco. Both consist of two horizontal bands of red and white. However, Indonesia's version is wider and uses a slightly darker shade of red. In addition, there are still 16 other countries in the world that use only red and white for their national flags. Do you think it's paradoxical that a country with the world's largest Buddhist temple is also the most populous Muslim nation on Earth? Comment number 1. If you think Indonesia is truly amazing. Number 2. Cultural notes when visiting Indonesia. Behavioral culture in Indonesia is deeply influenced by Islam, so travelers should pay attention to several important rules if they want to fully enjoy their experience without causing misunderstandings. First and foremost, respect for women is highly valued. Local men usually maintain a respectful distance and strictly avoid public displays of affection, such as holding hands, hugging, or kissing on the cheek. While these gestures may be seen as normal in Western culture, in Indonesia, they can easily be misinterpreted and considered inappropriate, especially in predominantly Muslim areas. Clothing is also an important consideration. In many regions, especially conservative areas like Aceh or certain parts of Java Island, visitors are advised to dress modestly and avoid overly revealing outfits as a sign of respect for the local community. Inappropriate attire may not only draw unwanted attention, but could also result in being denied entry to certain religious sites or traditional tourist attractions. In culinary culture, Indonesians value moderation and the meaning behind each gesture. They often divide food into small portions, eat slowly, and use both hands to fully appreciate the flavors. Eating with only one hand, or eating while doing something else, is considered impolite. Additionally, alcoholic beverages are not widely accepted here, and many restaurants even display signs prohibiting the serving of alcohol. Therefore, if you bring or request alcoholic drinks, there's a high chance you'll be refused service. Number 3. Indonesian women. Beautiful, loyal, but single. Indonesian women are praised as one of Asia's most prominent beauty icons, with looks that reflect the diversity of over 300 ethnic groups across the archipelago. They often possess either a healthy tan or smooth fair skin, almond-shaped eyes with long lashes, oval faces with high cheekbones, and most notably, curvaceous hourglass figures. Indonesia is also home to many outstanding representatives in international beauty pageants, most notably Kevin Liliana, who won the Miss International 2017 crown. According to a survey by Wonderslist, Indonesian women rank 9th among the countries with the most beautiful women in Asia. Beyond their attractive appearance, Indonesian women are also known for their calm demeanor and loyalty in love. They are caring, place emotional connection above material wealth, and are clear about personal boundaries in a relationship. If they feel disrespected, they won't hesitate to walk away. However, a curious fact is that up to 31% of Indonesian women aged 18 to 30 are still unmarried, equivalent to about 55 million people, and this trend continues to rise. This unintentionally opens opportunities for foreign men. Especially in regions like Bali or Lombok, where tourism is booming, Indonesian women are becoming more open to love with foreigners. However, they still uphold their identity, expecting respect for their lifestyle, religion, and family from their partner. It's also important to note that Indonesian law does not allow interfaith marriages, so if a couple wants to proceed to marriage, one of them will need to convert to the other's religion. Would you like to know how to win the hearts of these beautiful women? Leave a comment with the number 3, and I'll share some tips to help you impress them. Number 4. A nation on fire. With its geographical location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia currently has around 130 active volcanoes, the highest number in the world as of now. Not only does it have a large number of volcanoes, Indonesia is also the site of the 2 most devastating volcanic eruptions in human history. The first was Mount Tambora in 1815, whose eruption was so powerful that the sound could be heard over 2,600 kilometers away, roughly the distance from Texas to California. The Tambora eruption claimed the lives of over 90,000 people in Indonesia and caused the phenomenon known as the Year Without a Summer, 1816, in Europe and North America, as volcanic ash veiled the atmosphere, leading to abnormal global cooling. This resulted in widespread crop failures and famine from Asia to Europe. Nearly 70 years later, in 1883, Mount Krakatoa continued the tragedy. With a force equivalent to 2,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs, the explosion triggered tsunamis as high as 40 meters, moving at speeds over 500 kilometers per h, wiping out numerous coastal towns and causing 36,000 deaths. As of May 2025, Indonesia has recorded at least 9 separate eruptions in just the first few months of the year. Therefore, travelers visiting Indonesia should carefully research volcanic activity beforehand. Be aware of the nearest evacuation stations and escape routes at their destinations, and always carry a local map, a fully charged phone, and an offline navigation app. No. 5. Top tourist destinations in Indonesia. One of the most famous tourist destinations in Indonesia that no one should miss is the jewel island of Bali, the cultural and artistic heart of this archipelagic country. Not only travelers, but also many famous celebrities from Asia and Europe are captivated by the breathtaking beauty of this incredible island. When visiting Bali, you will have the chance to admire ancient architectural structures and temples crafted by renowned local sculptors. Especially, Bali is dubbed a tourism paradise thanks to its stunning tropical beaches with long stretches of golden sand and refreshing turquoise waves that mesmerize countless visitors. Its diverse natural landscapes, along with the friendliness and hospitality of its people, are key factors that have made Bali a paradise island and one of Indonesia's hottest travel destinations. The next famous tourist spot I want to introduce is Lake Toba. With a history dating back over 75,000 years, Lake Toba was formed by a volcanic eruption when the island of Sumatra was covered in ice. It wasn't until 1,000 years later, when the ice melted, that Lake Toba fully formed and became one of the top check-in destinations in Indonesia, known for its poetic beauty and tranquil, fresh atmosphere. Lake Toba covers a total area of up to 1,145 square kilometers and has a depth of around 450 meters. It is often compared to a vast ocean, and when visiting, travelers can freely take photos, go swimming, or enjoy boat rides. Especially, you can also learn more about the lifestyle and culture of the ancient Batak people who still live in the area today. Finally, a destination beloved by many foreign tourists is Mount Bromo. If you want to visit Mount Bromo, you need to set out early, around 3 to 4 a.m., to catch the volcano's beauty at sunrise. Once you reach the summit, you will not believe your eyes, as right before you lies a surreal scene of clouds and mist, interwoven with golden rays of sunlight. Note that you should bring warm clothes and a face mask when visiting Mount Bromo, as the temperature at the peak is quite cold and there is a strong smell of smoke coming from the volcano. Which tourist destination impressed you the most? If you would like to experience Bali at least once in your life, leave a comment with the number 5. Number 6. A tiny island in Indonesia that shaped the fate of the United States. Indonesia once made a historic trade that changed the course of world history. In 1664, the Dutch exchanged control of Run Island, a tiny Indonesian island less than 3 square kilometers in size but rich in nutmeg, for New Amsterdam from the British. The British later renamed the island New York. At the time, Run was the jewel of the spice trade, while New Amsterdam was virtually unknown. Yet this peculiar exchange paved the way for the British to expand their 13 colonies in North America, which eventually became the United States. Without this swap, the global political map might have looked very different. From historical milestones to pop culture, the connection between Indonesia and the United States seems remarkably close. Indonesian men have a unique way of showing admiration. They highly value strength and boldness in love, so much so that they coined the term jago, meaning rooster, to symbolize a man who conquers many women. Interestingly, this image is sometimes associated with famous American presidents like John F. Kennedy or Bill Clinton, as a way to admire their somewhat flirtatious nature. This relationship becomes even more fascinating when you learn that former US President Barack Obama spent part of his childhood in Indonesia. He attended elementary school at SDN Menteng I and lived in the Menteng neighborhood, known as a prestigious area for Jakarta's upper class. Childhood friends called him Barry, a friendly and energetic boy. Number 7. Indonesia and fascinating facts. Indonesia is home to the world's largest gold mine, the Grasberg mine in West Papua, estimated to be worth around $40 billion. It is located in the Sudirman mountain range at an altitude of 4,200 meters above sea level, making it difficult to access, although tours can be arranged. This gold mine was discovered by accident when Dutch geologist Jean-Jacques Dozy climbed Mount Carstens, the highest island peak in the world, in 1936. Not stopping there, Indonesia is also a palm oil powerhouse with an annual output of over 40 million tons, equivalent to the weight of about 20,000 blue whales. Along with Malaysia, the country supplies nearly 90% of the world's palm oil. Palm oil is commonly used in processed foods such as chocolate, cosmetics, and even biofuels. With a spirit of constant creativity, Indonesia also set an unexpected record in the culinary world by producing the world's largest instant noodle package, weighing up to 700 grams, about 8,000 times heavier than a regular pack. This was an initiative by Indomie, a globally famous instant noodle brand and also a culinary pride of the nation. In 1976, Indonesia became the first developing country to control its own domestic satellite system. This system was called Palapa and operated as a communication network for Indonesians across the 6,000 islands the country owns. Currently, there are 12 satellites in the system, used to provide signal for television and voice networks across the country. No 8. A high-risk aviation industry. Indonesia's third former president, B.J. Habibie, was not only an outstanding politician but also a symbol of intellect for the nation. He held 46 patents in the field of aviation, with many engineering formulas bearing his name, and was once considered the founding father of Indonesia's aircraft manufacturing industry. Under his leadership, the country established the National Aerospace Agency (IPTN) and made headlines in 1995 with the launch of the domestically produced N250 aircraft. The successful test flight of the N250 sparked a technological dream, positioning Indonesia as a rising star in the regional aviation industry. However, that dream quickly faded. Today, Indonesia bears a starkly contrasting title as the country with the highest number of aviation-related fatalities in the world, with over 2,400 lives lost. Between 2007 and 2018, several Indonesian airlines were banned from flying to the US and the EU due to extremely low safety standards. Tragic incidents such as the Lion Air crash into the Java Sea in 2018 and the disappearance of Sriwijaya Air just 4 minutes after takeoff in 2021 shook the world. The causes are believed to be a combination of many factors: aging aircraft fleets, pilot training programs that fall short of international standards, poor maintenance procedures, weak oversight systems, and complex weather conditions when flying across thousands of islands. From a nation that once dreamed of leading the aviation industry, Indonesia is still striving to rebuild global trust in its airlines. Do you think Indonesia can reclaim its place in the aviation world? Comment number 13 if you still believe in the archipelago nation. Number 9. Home to rare and unique species. Indonesia is home to the world's largest lizard species, known as the Komodo. Komodos live on 5 islands in Indonesia. The largest population is found on Komodo Island, followed by Rinca, Flores, Padar, and Gili Motang. The largest Komodo can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh up to 68 kilograms. As the closest living relatives to dinosaurs, they are extremely aggressive. In 2017, a tourist from Singapore was attacked by a Komodo dragon and narrowly survived after a bite on the leg became dangerous. Therefore, you must be very cautious when encountering Komodos during your tour in Indonesia. The next rare animal is the Javan rhinoceros, a species that can only be found in Indonesia. In 2011, the International Rhino Foundation declared the Javan rhino extinct, with only about 50 individuals remaining on the Ujung Kulon Peninsula of Java, the last surviving examples in the wild. Gunung Leuser National Park is one of the last places on Earth where you can see orangutans in the wild. These incredible creatures are found on the island of Sumatra in central Indonesia, where about 5,000 individuals still live in their natural habitat. Orangutans are extremely intelligent and share 97% of their DNA with humans. This explains why the word orangutan roughly translates to person of the forest in English. And finally, there is Rafflesia arnoldi, also known as the corpse flower, the largest flower in the world, found in the tropical forests of Indonesia, especially on the island of Sumatra. Its name is very accurate because of the foul odor it emits. It is certainly a contender for the title of the world's smelliest flower, as it gives off a scent similar to rotting meat to attract carrion-feeding flies. It can weigh nearly 10 kilograms and reach about 1 meter in diameter. Do you find the creatures of Indonesia rare and unique? Leave a comment with the number 9 if you agree with this view. Number 10. The place where coffee is made from, civet droppings. Indonesia is one of the most superstitious countries in Southeast Asia, with many strange customs still practiced today. In Bali, people have a tradition of filing down 6 upper teeth to remove 6 negative traits in a person: anger, ignorance, desire, jealousy, greed, and drunkenness. This is an important religious ritual for Hindus aimed at keeping the soul pure. Additionally, there is a widespread belief that newborn babies should not have their feet touch the ground during the first 6 months of life. It is believed that this practice helps prevent evil spirits from entering the child. During that time, the baby is only carried and passed around between family members as a sacred form of protection. There is also a common belief that sitting or standing in a doorway will make it difficult for a person to find a life partner. Alongside this superstition is another extremely unusual fact. Indonesia produces coffee extracted from the feces of the Asian palm civet, known as kopi luwak. These civets only eat the ripest coffee cherries and then excrete the beans, which have been affected by digestive enzymes. This natural fermentation process in the civet's stomach is what gives the coffee its smooth and unique flavor. Kopi luwak was first discovered when local people were banned from harvesting coffee on plantations set up by the Dutch. They noticed the intact beans and civet droppings and began collecting them for roasting and drinking. Today, kopi luwak sells for between 500 to 1,000 USD per kilogram and remains a luxurious choice for coffee connoisseurs around the world. Number 11. Jakarta, the capital city, sinking into the sea. The capital city, Jakarta, home to nearly 11 million Indonesians, is sinking into the sea at a rate of 25 centimeters per year. The cause lies in a combination of climate change, which is raising sea levels, the over-extraction of groundwater by the Indonesian government, and a weak drainage system. Over 40% of the city is currently below sea level, and if no action is taken, a large portion of Jakarta could be completely submerged by 2050. This city of 11 million people also frequently suffers from flooding, even on sunny days, and massive seawalls offer only a temporary solution. Because of this, the Indonesian government has decided to relocate the capital to Nusantara, an entirely new city being built on the island of Borneo. Nusantara is designed as a green super city with clean air, minimal private vehicles, and a reliance on renewable energy. This project is not only a solution to the environmental crisis, but also a bold statement of Indonesia's ambition to reshape the future of its development. Number 12. A developing transportation system. Jakarta was once dubbed one of the most traffic-congested cities in the world. According to calculations, each resident here loses nearly 4 years of their life just waiting for traffic jams to clear. Congestion often lasts for hours, severely affecting productivity and quality of life. Scenes of motorbikes driving against traffic, cars crowding onto sidewalks, and constant honking are almost the background noise of the city. In response to this situation, the Indonesian government introduced the BRT, Bus Rapid Transit, system, which is now considered the largest of its kind in the world. Launched in 2004, the system has expanded to over 250 kilometers of dedicated bus lanes, serving more than 1 million passengers daily. It is seen as an environmentally friendly public transportation solution, helping to reduce traffic congestion and air pollution in the capital. In addition, Indonesia is also developing subway and light rail transit (LRT) networks in Jakarta and major cities such as Palembang. Note 13. Famous delicious dishes in Indonesia. Indonesian cuisine is not only captivating for its bold spices, but also unforgettable thanks to dishes celebrated by CNN and food lovers around the world. Leading the list is nasi goreng, the fried rice dish considered the soul of the nation in this archipelago country. White rice is stir-fried with garlic, shallots, and sweet soy sauce called kicap manis, then combined with eggs and meats like chicken, beef, or seafood. It is often served with cucumber, tomato, and crispy prawn crackers. Many travelers admit they ended up eating this dish almost every day while in Indonesia because its flavor is simply irresistible. The second dish is rendang, a slow-cooked beef stew hailed as the world's most delicious dish by CNN. Originating from the Minangkabau community in West Sumatra, rendang is a masterful blend of beef, coconut milk, kaffir lime leaves, lemongrass, ginger, turmeric, garlic, chili, and a host of local spices. The meat is simmered for hours until it becomes tender. The sauce thickens and darkens, releasing a rich aromatic scent. The spiciness of the spices, combined with the creaminess of the coconut milk, makes every bite of rendang deeply flavorful and satisfying. Finally, there is sate, grilled meat skewers known as a street food legend in Indonesia. From chicken and beef to goat or fish, all are marinated with garlic, shallots, turmeric powder, and honey, then grilled over hot charcoal. When served, the skewers are topped with a thick peanut sauce and paired with rice cakes called lontong. The smoky aroma blended with the sweet, rich flavor of roasted peanuts makes it hard for diners to stop at just one skewer. Have you ever tried any of these top-tier dishes? If so, leave a comment with the number 13. Number 14. Fascinating festivals in Indonesia. Indonesia is not short of unique festivals, but few would expect one of them to be a nationwide day of silence. Every March, the island of Bali welcomes the Hindu New Year with the Nyepi Festival, a day when almost all activities come to a complete halt. No lights, no going outside, no work, no entertainment. Even the international airport closes. People spend the entire day meditating, fasting, and praying. Prior to that, they parade bamboo-made demon statues called Ogo Ogo through the streets as a way to drive away all negativity from the past year. It is not loud or festive, yet it is one of the most awe-inspiring celebrations for Western visitors to Bali. In complete contrast to the stillness of Nyepi, the Jember Fashion Carnival in August is one of Indonesia's most vibrant festivals. Originating from a fashion week in 2002, this event quickly evolved into a costume festival full of artistic flair. Outrageously creative costumes, meticulously designed over months, are worn by thousands of models parading along a 4-kilometer stretch of Jember's streets. People from all walks of life join in, from children to adults, creating a celebration that is both dazzling and heartwarming, like a miniature version of Rio in East Java. Also in August, the city of Palembang hosts the Bidar Boat Race Festival in celebration of Independence Day. Massive boats ranging from 20 to 30 meters long, painted in bright colors and elaborately decorated, are powered by around 70 rowers. Each team has both a captain and a gong player to maintain rhythm. The sight of these giant boats gliding swiftly along the Musi River not only showcases collective strength, but also stands as a proud symbol of the people of Sumatra. Number 15. Cost of living in Indonesia. When you set foot in Indonesia, one of the first things that may spark your curiosity is the cost of living in this archipelagic nation. Depending on where you choose to stay, your financial experience will vary greatly. In bustling cities like Jakarta or Bali, renting a one-bedroom apartment can range from $350 to $700 per month. But in smaller towns, you'll be surprised by the much more affordable rates, starting from just $150 to $300 per month. If you want to experience local life in the most authentic way, try cooking at home. On average, you will only need about 150 to 250 USD per month for groceries. However, if you are a foodie who loves street food or wants to explore the local culinary culture, each meal at a restaurant will cost just 1 to 3 USD. A great opportunity to enjoy unique dishes without worrying too much about expenses. Getting around in Indonesian cities is also an interesting experience. With a wide public transportation system and popular ride-hailing services, you only need to spend about 20 to 40 USD per month for bus fares, train rides, or app-based transport. If you enjoy staying active and maintaining your health, don't hesitate to sign up for a gym membership, which costs between 15 and 40 USD per month. You'll be amazed to find that gyms here are not only modern, but also a great place to meet friendly trainers. The total monthly cost of living in Indonesia ranges from 700 to 1,400 USD. This is a very reasonable amount considering the quality of life and the conveniences that this colorful Southeast Asian country has to offer. And those were 15 fascinating facts about Indonesia. We hope these insights have given you a fresh perspective on this incredible country. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming journeys. Which fact impressed you the most? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. The information is for reference only, so please do your own research before making any decisions.